I think with that we are live.
Awesome.
How's everybody doing today?
I mean, you say everybody like it's not just us.
Well, hopefully it'll be more than just us in just a second.
Oh, has Ninja gotten back to you about being peeled away from his PS5 like a peasant?
No, I was more talking about the audience.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Well, if Ninja could join us, that'd be great.
About it.
I love the idea. It's just like you just forget the whole streaming thing. It's like, oh, what do you mean just us? It's just like, what?
I mean, usually I do act like I don't even pay attention to the idea that other people might be watching. And most often I'm right, so, you know, it works out.
I mean, we've got a few people that watch us normally.
Yeah. Those absolute legends.
Rain today.
Yeah, we watched Goodfellas versus Monkey last night, and it's been on the brain when I woke up. I actually woke up thinking about that goddamn movie.
I really don't like that movie. Not just from the whole, like, we were right to make Mechagodzilla, but more from the fact of, like, man, I'm just so sick of these versus movies that I honestly would not have just, I probably would have done the lame thing and just not had a winner.
That's kind of what they did. In fact, that's what would annoy me. The fact that they didn't have a clear winner.
Not a say,
What?
Groovy,
But
you're
at the
wrong.
end of it, they both decided their
The others
blows.
have been
King
fucking
Kong
off.
fucking
Since
submitted.
you
He
got back
yielded.
from Castle
Oh no,
Dragonfell.
we declared that Godzilla was the winner. But the narrative of the movie was that both Godzilla and King Kong realized that the real enemy was the creation of man.
Huh.
Remember? It's like what we were saying and what the movie was saying were completely different. And that was kind of the problem.
I guess so. I didn't see it as that. I saw when King Kong was putting the axe down. I thought that was him submitting.
I mean, it kind of was, but that's not really what the movie was trying to imply.
Conviction decay.
It was more just like, we are not enemies, lizard man.
Right.
The real enemies is the robots we made along the way.
Yeah, it really was that. And I don't know, maybe it's because I am such like not a long time kaiju fan, but I know the history of Godzilla, so the idea with this new narrative that he is just the definitive good guy just feels so weird.
Listen up. I'm here.
Well, it's not that he's definitively good, it's that he represents the natural order.
Right.
Like, if Mother Nature was a nuclear lizard, basically. It's like, yeah, sometimes there's disasters and people will die, but it's not a personal thing. It's just nature. It's just the world being the world. It doesn't care about you until you try to fuck with it, and then it will fuck with you back harder. Yeah, I was saying that earlier as well, that the way they fuck that idea up is by giving Godzilla some kind of investment in what we do.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. If we had already made Mechagodzilla and then Godzilla was angry at us, that makes sense. But the idea that he's just attacking for seemingly no reason.
Well, no reason. Godzilla knew that
Right.
research facility was developing technology for Mechagodzilla.
And it was apparently like hinted at that the noise that the eyeballs make is what lures him in.
Which, I mean, just listen to that fucking sentence, though.
yeah, that's the dumbest part. It's and why it apparently made the same noise that the whole magic rock when you put the axe in.
Yep. The downloadable rocks, the telepathic bones. The movie is absolutely gloriously fucking stupid. It was hilarious.
There's a hook rat behind us. Oh no, he's right there. No, he's right there as he's like pulling you away.
So yeah, thanks, I noticed.
Northlanders worship Nurgle, foulest of the dark birds. You should never crave evil, Rohan. For if one is the worst, then you might be tempted to kill Snip with the least. Right, awesome. This Nurgle, pretty bad.
I actually did just like that conversation.
Yeah. Saltspire best character.
Personality-wise, yeah, he's pretty up there. Gameplay-wise, I'm always gonna lean towards my boy.
Those cells and all
You're
places
merely
are
only
sick, no matter
virgin.
The simp class.
Yeah, the no gun having fucking beta.
Hey, the fucking having long, like, ranged weapons, those are the weapons of cowards. And unchivalrous men.
The stench.
There is no chivalry for heretics.
Souls await. The symphony of sickness.
It is just funny though when like I'm not in when I'm not in the front of the party and I just watch you just annihilating people with guns. It's just like, yeah.
Especially when I'm on a roll and it's like one bullet each.
Honestly, the funniest part is always the elite guys when it's like, hey, there's that guy there, and then you just shoot him.
Yeah.
You mean there was that guy there?
Look out, Blade Ray!
Oh shit. I missed him with the first swing, but got him with the second. Oh, shit.
Don't worry, I got it.
Yeah, if Godzilla wasn't honed in on the whole, like talking shit sound, then that wouldn't have been so bad. Because then it would have been viewed as a necessity that Mechagodzilla was made, instead of just, we made him anyway and you pissed Godzilla off.
Well, the first thing Mechagodzilla did was destroy his career in the same control room that had all the panels that we needed to function.
I honestly think if they just had not done the whole, like, we use Ghidorah thing, and they just make humans evil. I don't know.
The way they explained the science crap behind Mechagodzilla was they used telepathy latent in the bones of Ghidorah. If they just left that out and just said it was just scientism. We made a giant robo-dinosaur because we have the science. That's fine.
Yeah,
Don't need magic bones.
Well, at the same time, like, we can have magic, just don't have it be like that kind of magic. Because let's face it, Mothra is entirely magic. Well, used to be magic. When they did the whole, like, the twins would do the song and the ritual. Man, that
we
fucking...
all sing Kumbaya, Moth will leave us alone.
Well, it's because, like, out of all the kaiju, Mothra is the only, like, definitive, like, good one. Like, I don't think Mothra's ever been evil. Evil by kaiju standards.
Yeah, I think that's the qualifier.
Yeah. Because that's
Still
the thing.
a giant radioactive blood monster thing, but you know.
Is
fine.
Mothra radioactive? I could have sworn only Godzilla
I
and, like,
thought they all were.
Ghidorah.
But there's another behind.
That's
I thought
like...
they all were to some extent.
I know,
It's
like...
only, Godzilla's able to channel it into lasers and shit.
into his atomic breath, which the 98 movie didn't even give him that.
Why would it? It's already huge, and it's a lot of fish. That's all it needs.
We need to watch that for a Y.A.R.P movies. Just watch 98 and all of us just basically just lose our minds.
I've seen it too many times already for it to really get to me. At this point, it's just funny how bad it is.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is for me too. Because,
Life reaches down.
Like, the only thing that's ever bothered me really about 98 is the clear, like, Raptor ripoff that the babies are.
Oh, you can't just be Godzilla. You have to be Jurassic Park as well. Otherwise, what's the point?
But you don't need to be that at all.
Apparently you do, according to the producers of that movie.
Yeah, apparently to Roland Emmerich, yeah, you gotta have the fucking, you gotta be, oh, there's trolls? Where?
So,
Oh, there he is. I'll save my strike for the second health bar bit. So if we just don't get that second health bar layer down, does it just get it back or
it
something?
heals. Yeah, the whole lore behind the Bile Trolls is that they're incredibly regenerative. Because between normal troll shit and Nurgle, they can recover from almost anything. So you have to keep going at them when they're down.
Here, the stairs. Watchful eye, Dory. Otherwise, a storm of puss and balls will...
River was suggesting that we all sit down and watch the Peter Jackson King Kong. And I was like,
I'd be game.
yeah, I'm kind of game. The only problem is I really don't like that third act. You know, when King Kong is supposed to be terrorizing New York.
Barely remember it.
You'll have you by the neck.
That's actually why I'm probably game to watch it, is because I don't remember it well.
On a super subjective take, that part is just super fucking boring.
I remember liking the game of that movie. Weirdly.
Well, yeah.
It
Well,
was so simple, but it was like quite intense.
well, it's because you had like not only that, it had all the cast too, and then you could control King fucking Kong.
Oh yeah, the monkey level.
Imagine you were that fucking cultist that was just like, I'm gonna make this big leap, then I'm gonna kill you, and then just fucking had his skull bashed in by my shield.
Yeah, those random dudes with bags on their heads, you have to admire the sheer balls. It's like I've torn through monsters and Nurgle Knights and whatever the fuck else. But no. You're gonna be the one.
Well, it's why it's like, imagine the balls on all those Skyrim NPCs that still think they can take you on.
Yeah, you see some guy in full draconic armor, whatever the fuck, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna rob that guy. With my
Meanwhile,
knife.
yeah, with my little dagger or like my little axe.
This makes
You
twisted
shall go
sense.
no further, sir. Pay the toll, and then you just have the sword through you.
Gas rat. Our answers lie yonder. We must descend.
Oh shit. Oh, the dwarf fucking took care of him. Damn. The Blightstormer's just dead.
Don't worry, Cootie. I'll be back.
Actually, you can equip your bots to be like really good at taking out specials if you give them like sniper rifles and shit, because the AI don't miss.
Yeah, the AI, not only that, the AI don't fuck around.
Yep. So their killer instinct isn't quite as quick as an actual human player's, but
This is the
accuracy is on
correct
point.
path.
It's a nice balance for playing solo.
I mean, I'd much prefer that over like StarCraft's AI design for like the medic, because I play as fucking Tychus all the time, and with Tychus you've got like the Doc who, despite not having any guns, charges face first into the enemy hordes. And
Brainy.
so she's like always the first to die, and I always just go like, Doc, what are you doing? That's why Ninja has always been like, Wyatt, you don't need to keep bringing her into the fight. when she's like the only real active healer. The only other healer is somebody that can just throw the.
I forgot to get the key first. All right, back down the hole down here.
No problem. I like how we're just like strolling through the mud and we're like looking for this key, and like the intense music's playing.
I high boots like an absolute diva, so he's fine.
No, I was more just commenting on the music and then the noise in the background.
Oh yeah, yeah, because we're being followed by these guys.
We're just like, where's the key? And in the background.
Where could it be? Oh my goodness.
I swear it was over here.
We've a leech.
Oh, it's probably gonna leap on me. God damn it. I saw like the little hint of green. I was like, the assassin's probably gonna leap on me.
Alright, seriously, where is this fucking cake?
Hold a moment while I drink.
Alright, found it. Alright, take two. And all
For some
this to get
reason-
some fucking health regen.
It wasn't even health regen. This is the. Oh yeah, this is the
Heard a
grimoire
tale
for my
look
goal.
back. One of the sisters of Shalia lost her mind, slit a bunch of throats, and vanished into the wild.
What's that sound? Oh, that's my dishwasher.
Oh, you getting spooky noises.
Well, mixed in with like the sounds of like all the chaos going on, and just dishwasher sounds, it made it sound like there was like this like windstorm happening outside. I was like, it's like I know I'm in
Yeah.
Arizona, but I'm not ready for my first Dust Bowl.
The dishwasher of Nurgle.
Ash, I hear a warp fire thrower.
It's probably into
Farm
you.
machinery is no match for Imperial steel.
Yeah, that was correct.
More like Imperial lead.
Yeah, down the stairs.
It's a hook rat.
That's a hook rat.
Oh, I'm being an idiot.
Hanging by a thread here.
What are you doing?
Still need just
I thought I would get on like the rafters or something, and then I just slid right off the raptor. The raptor.
Oh, fun.
So I'm gonna do that.
feels a bit odd.
That's why I was like, don't mind me. I just. That's why I was saying, oh, I'm being an idiot as I was plummeting to like break my legs. Treat.
Eyes open, lively.
I think I don't know, one of the funniest parts about Zilla versus Monkey had to be the sudden discovery of like Hollow Earth.
Yeah, they really just kind of threw that out there and acted completely straight-faced like they weren't ripping off Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. I was laughing my ass off practically with every moment.
And then
Also,
King Kong gets down there and it turns out his ancestors, whatever the fuck, were more evolved than him. To the point where not only did they have tools, like he's been shown to use, but furniture and architecture.
oh yeah, because he had his chair.
Yeah. His one and only possession, which he immediately lost.
Yeah, when Godzilla, who by the way blew like an atomic breath that was way bigger than like King Kong and Godzilla combined for that movie.
Yeah, through the crust of the earth. into the mantle. Because we actually saw on all those little holographic map things how far down Hollow Earth is.
Now, where is it?
Like, that's all just like lava and magma and all that kind of stuff
Rattling gunners.
churning in the bowels of our pretty oblong planet.
I spy a hook.
And yeah,
Dive,
he just
Packmaster, you will
blasted a
trouble
hole
us
right
no
down there.
more.
Like it was Mario. It was something.
Hey, let's not forget about the gravity inversion, man.
Oh no, it's fine. Godzilla gave me a shortcut. They didn't need to go through that again. See, you only need to do the gravity inversion if you're going in either end of the tube Earth. If you're going out through a hole in the side, you're fine.
I just love how they were all like, oh, with the gravity inversion, you're gonna be like ripped in half or something, and it's just like, what? No, that just means that you experience like a 1G just in the other direction.
And remember the thing that caused that? Probably the weirdest sequence in the entire movie was Monkey getting the power of Grayskull.
Yeah. The fun was like, not only was there the power of Grayskull, we went through like 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like it was that movie's like whole quest was like, how many movies can we rip off in like a single sequence?
It is one of the weirdest movies we've ever watched together, and I was loving it for how fucking stupid it is, how nonsensical it was. You were having a fucking aneurysm.
Well, that's because like I just was not having it. Something about that movie just was like just pissing me off.
I don't know why. We knew what we were in for.
I think it's because like I do kind of have a bit of a bias towards kaiju movies, and I lean towards more the classic ones than the newer ones. Because
They're more solid in concept, but not by that much.
Well, I was going to say
They're way less entertaining and more stupid.
I was more going to say they kind of engage with the concepts a lot more than these newer movies. Like the fact that Godzilla's like the allegory for nuclear weapons, that kind of stuff.
That stuff they're more solid on, that doesn't necessarily make them better. You're kind of giving the point for trying.
Well, they tried and succeeded. Like these movies aren't even trying. That's more the problem I'm having.
I'd say that depends on which one, but I don't. At least of the ones I've seen, they're all pretty goofy. It's like if you want a nuclear weapons allegory to something that's quite serious and actually has something to say, generally you're going to go to something like Akira. Whereas Godzilla, its legacy is being. That's where it's from. So using it as a serious, oh no, I'm actually really enthusiastic about the meaningful shit behind these, you're gonna be arguing upstream.
Right. Also, we can. What was worse though, this or King of the Monsters? Because King of the Monsters like flat out like was basically saying like, oh no, humans are the real bad guys because we pollute our planet and stuff.
That was just humanity bad. It was like
Another battle, another
it was even more shallow and also way more boring.
Yeah.
This was a lot of things. Boring wasn't one of them.
Yeah, and it's like, to quote Rags, like they say like humanity bad when it's like, but I'm a human.
Yeah, it's like, I disagree. I have a vested interest in not agreeing with that.
Although I wish Charles Dance was there. Dude, if Charles Dance was in King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Every single one of these movies, and his only purpose should ever be to tell the other characters how retarded they are.
Because that was like the best part of King of the Monsters was just Charles Dance going like, Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. They weren't supposed to wake up like this. Like, what did you expect? You woke up King Ghidorah.
Good evening.
Or also,
All
it's
is
like,
well.
oh,
Well.
people weren't supposed to die. We were supposed to all, like, retreat happily into bunkers when the monsters took over the world. And he's actually looking at her like, do you have fucking brain damage?
Yeah, it's
You
like
wanted to give the world to the monsters. What did you think was going to happen?
it's why whenever Charles Dance is in these movies, I just laugh my ass off because he's just like, Charles Dance, you were in Game of Thrones. You were like one of the best characters, and here you are in these like fucking shit tier movies.
I mean, he's had a lot of character parts in lesser known movies, lesser budgeted movies, that kind of thing. It's not exactly new to him. He's a career actor.
Right.
But it's just lately, after Game of Thrones, we all have such respect for him that seeing him going back to do this,
Given who's standing
it's
front
almost
and
sad, but
centre,
it's also really
nightmare.
funny.
It's like when he showed up in like Ghostbusters 2016 and pretty much just like looked at all the Ghostbusters and went like, y'all are
Loner and
retarded.
I were just discussing something curious. Something has
see.
obliterated the town of Untermans. No loss. but the
Now,
area's crawling with
Hail
unspeakable
Scourge and
threats.
Righteous Stand.
Perhaps you should take a look.
Hail Scourge. Oh, this one. Yay.
Well, keeping stum seems a good idea.
Oh, what the? Did you accidentally just hit no?
Probably.
That's loading. I'm gonna grab my iced coffee.
Now, there's a sorcerer lord
Iced
creating
coffee.
quite a hullabaloo
Just
down
buy
in
coffee and
what's
let it go
left of
cold like an
Helldar.
adult.
Turns out it's Burble Spew Hail Scourge, the same fat bastard who ordered the theft of my book collection in Ubersreich, remember? Alicia says he's conjuring up a city-sized plague mist which will make the rot
Slur, were you ever a barista?
and kill any decent
No.
folk. So,
Then, yeah,
ride the guildsman's
you're not
boat
supposed to
into
do
the
that.
city
You're not supposed to just
and
let your, like, just
stow
letting your
his
coffee get
bloody
cold
head.
does not just
No
automatically make it
one
iced
steals
coffee.
from me.
The iced coffee that, when
Yeah,
you-
it does. It's more or less the same thing.
no, the
Coffee
blends for
plus
iced
lack of
coffee,
temperature, fine.
the coffee that we normally get iced normally have a different brew.
Nah. Same stuff, different temperature.
Right, mates. We've a sodding sorcerer to offer.
Or at least that's what Starbucks would do. Like Starbucks, like if when you got iced coffee, it was normally a different blend than if you got the hot coffee.
Or if you get a hot coffee and they just put ice in it, so they end up just giving you some lukewarm, watered down slop. What? It's an iced coffee. What do you want? Want cream?
I love the idea of like you as a barista, you're just like, ah, fuck it.
So I don't know what any of this shit actually is, so I just make what it sounds like it is.
Yeah, you want like a macchiato? Here's a water.
It's a macchiato.
A macchiato is a latte, but it's upside down. Meaning,
Won't it pour out?
no, oh, for fuck's sake. Meaning it's milk then the shots. If Friendly Fire was
How
on,
does it
I would.
stay in the cup.
I swear to God, if I could, if Friendly Fire was enabled, I'd bash your goddamn skull in.
Body blows aren't working.
That was like one of those like fucking like one of those pun moments. Like just classic wordplay, and I'm just like, oh god damn it.
You're worried, pussy. I'll be back. Oh, when Friendly gets his steam up,
Okay, oh Jesus Christ, I'm about to die.
my shield and I will get this done. Only hurts when I laugh, not when I breathe.
Your wounds need tending, Marcus.
That went well.
Yeah, that went swimmingly.
Hanging
So
by
hope
a
we can
thread
find
here. You're wounded, Crowbat!
Oh my god, even Saltzmart in the cane is yelling at you.
just like get. All right, I've got a bomb. Come on.
Alright, you go right, I'll go left.
You're right. They're waiting for us. But we're ready for them, aren't we? I unleash black powder.
Oh, come on.
Some of them have shields now.
Found your health.
Yay. Rise that hook rat's charging right at me.
Now, Jojo, is that a good thing? It merely helps spread the corruption.
Oh, so I watched the last little bits of
Be careful.
Rob's 24-hour live stream, and he's Cinematic Venom.
Oh, how did that go?
He's halfway through his goal.
When this is done,
Nice.
might be best to fill this
Yeah,
lot
and he's
in
got till
and
October,
start
so he's got like the whole summer
I
to
never
get the
thought
2,000
I'd hear such
pounds.
sentiment from a dwarf.
Look around, Grimgy. Helmgart's gone. Poisoned.
I don't know what the conversion is, but I've so far in total, I think Y.A.R.P has given him like around like
Look around,
I think we've given him like a total of like more than $100.
Don't you want to fight?
Oh, that's not fair. You're just bullying that Chaos Warrior now.
Stay out of the poison.
Just taking pot shots at his head from a distance.
Yeah, meanwhile he's on the other side going, ow, knock it off.
Both you and the warrior crying in melee only.
Potion.
We're just like, yeah, we're just challenging like, you get over here, no, you get over here. And then you're just taking pot shots at Rattling Gunner.
Yeah, I see him.
I'm trying to be like a good enough
Already have
distraction.
some fucking meat shields.
Sigma guide my flash. If only he taught you to hold a sword proper.
Anytime I try to do the like hey voice, like hey, I just end up doing the Schmitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen skeleton. Hey, that's my hat. Give it back. The #1 hat from SpongeBob. When Mr. Krabs took the hat back, he popped out of the grave. Hey, that's my hat. Give it back.
I think your SpongeBob references are a little too specific for me.
That's one of like the most Schmitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen. You don't know that one? That's like
No, I don't.
that's like prime SpongeBob reference. That's like, oh, get up, you dwarf.
Keep your eyes fixed
That's like
ahead.
season
Do not look
2, I
down.
think.
I cannot place SpongeBob episodes into seasons or anything because I watched all of it out of order in whatever airing.
Oh, okay.
Nickelodeon.
To be fair,
When
Nickelodeon
you
was
actually
weird about
sit
that.
down and watch season by season SpongeBob.
I was the age for it. I was I was in the age of like sit down with a bowl of cereal and watch some fucking SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, but like knowing which season is which, you don't get that from Nickelodeon. You just get random episodes.
Yeah, and sometimes that'd be really weird when you get like an episode from like season 1 and then suddenly like the newest episode ever and it's just like, okay, that's a bit weird.
I'm pretty sure they just load all of their discs into a thing and press shuffle. Fuck.
Hold me up! Up with
Well,
you.
well, well.
You miscreants to
Shut
judge
up.
yet.
Having a bit of... I wouldn't be surprised the guy with one eye has a problem with gravity and depth perception.
Yeah, I think the depth perception is the bigger problem. Sigmar guides my strikes, not my jumps. It's a very specific contract.
Meanwhile, the Lady of the Lake helps me with everything.
But that's because you only do one thing.
I do one thing and it's really good. It's like the Harry Potter joke is like, it's the only spell I know. Harry, have you ever thought about not casting Expelliarmus? It's the only spell I know.
The gas rat!
Something I always thought was absolutely hilarious was how the early movies would, like, they didn't quite know how they would visualize the spells yet. So, Expelliarmus in like the second movie had like this big like cloud effect to it. I'm probably gonna break my legs. Oh no. But then in the let's see, why am I stuck? Weird. Then in like the movies onwards, it was just that little blue dot that would come out of the wands.
I don't remember them all that well, honestly. I was quite into the book as a kid, but like, I kind of stopped giving a shit about it by the time the movies were wrapping up.
Yeah, I had to read Harry Potter for book reports, so
Ew.
I very much was not having a good time.
You'll never be as good as Ockree. That's a whoop by a thrower. Get clear, get
I was going to say, like, I did not enjoy just reading in general, but that's because, as we've had that talk before, is that schools forcing reading is like, it turns a lot of people off from it.
It's also just the way that you do reading comprehension in school. It makes reading way more tedious than it actually is.
Yeah, especially since you're
It will
constantly...
actively stop you from getting engrossed in a story.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that, like, depending on your teacher, you're constantly looking for themes.
We've a leech by the sound of it.
I mean, looking from the themes is fine. In fact, it's good to actually make yourself do it as a kind of practice so you can see when they are and are not backed up by the text. But you don't start off with that. You start off with just basic comprehension, and then you move up to that, which is kind of how we do it.
Yeah, meanwhile, we stopped doing that, like, pretty much, I'm
Seen this kind of corruption.
trying to think of what grade we pretty much stopped the, are you paying attention type deal. I would honestly say freshman year of high school, we pretty much are like, what's the themes? Why are the curtains blue? Let me see if I can tag him. He's right there. Yeah. And the constant, and it's like no wonder I hate the themes conversation in most movies, because I'm like, because it just reminds me of literature class. I'm like, fuck this.
You seem to have gone a little bit too far in the opposite direction, though, where
Yes, I know
try to
themes are
actually, like,
important.
don't. Well, not even that they're not important. It's just you try to act like they're not there, which is fine because in terms of whether the story makes sense, whether the details track, whether these characters' actions and choices are actually consistent, the theme actually doesn't matter, so it's usually fine. But when it comes to explaining why an event is in the story at all, or what all of these events when put next to each other are supposed to build up towards, that's when it kind of becomes important again.
Right.
It's like when you're actually talking about, here's what the story is. It's this list of events. But here's what the story is about. and then you've got this idea that's worthless.
Right. It's like how when you apply that to like, you can see the themes are pretty obvious with like the classical stories. Like with Star Wars, it's clearly like the themes of like good versus evil. The theme, and when you
Bond
look
with
at
family and
yeah. Then when you look at like the saga as a whole, it's like the like fall and redemption.
And then the rise of Palpatine again. Somehow he returned.
I request elaboration. Somehow Palpatine returned. I'm gonna need more than that.
Nope. That's because you're racist.
No, not only that, like, not only are you gonna get that, if you do want it, you're gonna have to play Fortnite.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is such a fucking blemish on the saga. And
The
the
entire
saga was
sequel
pretty
trilogy
broken.
is the entire sequel trilogy is just this blemish on Star Wars in general.
Well,
Like
they put a blemish on the blemish, which is almost an accomplishment.
Yeah. Or they turned the blemish into a fucking cancer. Because it went from like the kind of Tizzy EU where like Han would fight like a giant badger, or we'd have like Lord Nyax, to like stupid bullshit like somehow Palpatine returned. At least they explained when Palpatine returned, like how. They explained the how of it. But even then, when Palpatine returned in the old EU, it was Tizzy then, and it's Tizzy now.
Yeah. That's the thing with the EU. A lot of it was really fucking bad fanfiction. But we all knew that, and that's how we treated it. We didn't act like it was just as valid as the movies, just because it was somebody's creative vision.
Yeah, there were some stories that were really good, like the Thrawn trilogy, and then what their version of what the sequel trilogy was, with like Jason Solo turning the dark side. Like that was pretty interesting. But then you got stories like Lord Nyax, and then of course Han fighting the giant badger, or the lost city of the Jedi underneath Yavin 4, where they treat like Star Wars as like the almost like in how the meta treats it.
Well, that's kind of one of the problems with the sequels. They treated it all like it was legend, and they had to have it so that the characters were like mythical even in the world for their equivalent of WW2.
Which is really like Luke Skywalker. I thought he was a myth. Luke was around 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's just getting high on your own legacy, mythos,
Yeah.
lore. You're getting high on your own lore.
And then fucking Kathleen and Ryan were trying to basically introduce a bunch of fucking bullshit themes into, such as like capitalism bad. You realize you work for like the biggest company, possibly the biggest, like close to a monopoly on the planet, right? It's why I was actually having a conversation with River about like the cyberpunk genre, about how like, man, you kind of can't, like, you can kind of tell good cyberpunk stories. It's just they're kind of accidentally latent with a bit of hypocrisy. Like Cyberpunk 2077, it's like super anti-corporate, yet was made by one of the biggest game developers of all time.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the problem you run into with anything, because
Yeah.
anti-corporate is a common sentiment because corporations have generally sucked forever.
Yeah.
In fact, even going before corporations, merchant guilds were always really fucking shady. They had so many ties to the undergrounds of major cities because they were just really savvy business people. They didn't actually care about ethics or morals or
Yeah.
national interests. They were just going to do what they did to make money. Those kinds of people have always been really easy to paint as bad guys. And if there was like a playwright or some production company or an author who's making books or stories or plays about how these people are awful, and a lot of people wanted to buy them, they would publish those too, because fuck it. They don't actually value anybody else's input.
Right.
Just like how in the 90s, all those kids' movies where the bad guy of almost every movie was some like wealthy businessman who wanted to buy the orphanage and turn it into a parking lot. It's like, that's Disney. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
They will be the bad guy in their own movie if it means it's a movie people will pay for.
Which is just how you just go like, what the fuck?
I almost respect it. It's
Been trying to
This is so
reach them
blatant.
Thwani elves for a bit of help. Well, you never know, do you? Not heard out.
I do like how like the commendation chests at the end, like when you complete a challenge, when you open up the spoils of war, they like just slap on the platform. Yet when you open up like the stuff you earn from the level, it always just goes like hunk. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Some
is there
things
any-
deserve more aplomb.
Well, it just makes me chuckle because it's like, you know, for a fact the stuff from the challenges, like they even say like it can't go higher than 100.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, there's really no point in this existing. Is that a Bretonnian longsword? No, it's a great sword.
We're in Castle Drakenfels. Did we gain nothing, my father?
What was the last challenge? We're at 12 of 13. Righteous Stand. What is that? Where is it? Oh, it's the very first level. I'm a fucking idiot.
Listen, Alicia's got a good shot at gaining some.
I'm so
proper
tempted
information
for
about
us
the
to put on the
She's
video
going to
list.
help
The,
God, and so are
extra
you.
credit
Difference is,
recently released
she'll be
a
sneaky, and
a
you'll be
video
loud.
comparing like orcs to
Provide
black
a
people.
distraction by ringing
Wait, is
the
that a
bells
new
at
one?
the
I thought that
Temple
was
of
an
St.
old thing that had
That's
just
how the
like
old
broken
world
containment.
is, eh?
They actually released a new one where they did it again? Seriously?
I have no idea. All I know is that Twitter's been talking about it, or at the very least, the people we follow on Twitter have been talking about it.
I saw it going a little viral, but I assumed this was an old video because I remember that take coming from sometime last year.
I thought that was a newer one because then we would have been talking about it then.
Well, the whole orcs equal black people
So,
bullshit. I
Lola
remember that
wishes
coming
a
up last year.
distraction.
I mean,
But I don't
that
think
came
it
up
was
with
actual credits.
Provide.
that came up
I'm
with
glad to
Bright
pitch in. I don't
because
fancy
that
this
was
trump
well,
across the
Bright
wall,
was
though.
of course
Might
doing it
get
on
a bit
purpose.
blowy.
Bright was all like, yeah, they are black people, and it's just like,
Yeah,
right.
it was self-aware
Good textbook.
cringe.
Hasten to me.
you know, something I've always liked in the level detail is like how, like, in terms of just the randomness when they make the weather of the level, like sometimes it'll be raining, sometimes it'll be like in the middle of the day, or this kind of like overcast, cloudy type deal.
Yeah, it's a small detail, but it does actually help change things up a bit.
Yeah, it helps you, it keeps you from like noticing how many of the same level you've been playing over and over again. Which is something Destiny certainly did not help with, like at all.
Yeah, all the little areas of randomness, like where drops will be, what drops you get, where enemies will be, what enemies are going to come. It does help
Watch the
keep it
flanks, we've obliged
relatively
bomber
fresh
close
each
by.
time.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that there are times when everything can be a bit grindy if you're trying to level up a character that you don't actually enjoy playing.
Oh yeah, that's what playing Assault Spire really felt for me.
See, I did all of that shit during the double XP weekend.
Yeah, so you skipped all it.
I still had to do it, it just went by much faster. is the only difference.
Yeah, you could have just thrown on a podcast and then, sir, pardon, pick up the book.
There is no defiance left within these walls. Only what we bring with us.
Oh man, I know the name of this guy. This is really irritating because this isn't Sigmar, because Sigmar had his hammer.
Yeah, that's not
Fuck.
Sigma, but I have no idea who it is. I'm still really out of touch with
Matters all.
the fantasy
We
lore.
shall ensure their
Yeah,
sacrifice does not
40k seems to be a more our thing, or at the very least what we're more caught up with. Oh, there he is.
That's not even unique to us. Most people are.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I was saying just amongst like the Y.A.R.P group. Yeah, we're mainly more 40k than fantasy.
Like the one thing about the fantasy I've been kind of meaning to look up at some point is their explanation for Slanesh. Because other than that, all the gods are basically the same.
Yeah, they really are. I'm gonna just look that up eventually. Like, I think after this level is done, I'm just gonna look up, like, what's the difference. Because in 40k, the creation of Slanesh is very tied to the Eldar. And we know the Eldar are basically just elves, but there's a difference between, like, outright elves and, like, elves with a different name.
I think it's gonna end up being something very similar. It might even be the elves' fault again. Except instead of fucking a planet into oblivion to make Slanesh, it was like this nation or kingdom that did it instead.
Probably somewhere on the donut.
Yeah. And, yeah, because Dark Elves are a thing in this one as well. So it could just have a mirror thing.
What's kind of funny is, like, when you look at, like, how the features of elves are described, and then you play fucking Skyrim, and, like, all of the fucking elves are, like, fuck ugly.
I mean, NPCs in Elder Scrolls games are not always the most pretty anyways.
No, I mean, like, even when you're creating your character, like, here's what the Dark Elf looks like before you fuck with anything. It's like, oh my god, they look like shit.
Oblivion NPCs are still the toppest of the tiers for
First
their
image.
faces.
Well, that's because I feel like Oblivion could let you mess with a lot more stuff than Skyrim did.
Oh yeah, you can make your character absolutely fucking monstrous in the game. Like big old fish head.
I feel like I should just sit down with Oblivion and just play that instead of trying to force myself to like Skyrim.
Yeah, you keep saying it like that, and then you keep doing it anyway. You just don't like the game, dude. It's fine. You don't have to try and like it. It's not that great a game. It's just for 11, it was really cool. It had a lot of freedom, a lot of things you could do.
Right. I think it's more the fact that like he's right there. You got him. What's funny is, like, at the very least, my high school class, like the people I went to high school with, Skyrim was, like, their only game. So that was, I think that may have driven me up a wall, so it made me think, like, oh man, me not liking Skyrim is a bad thing. And now I'm like, I've just accepted it. I'm like, yeah, I prefer The Witcher.
Witcher 3 is a better game than Skyrim in every single possible facet.
Oh, then you need to watch Up Is Not Jump's video, because he fucking... like, I think he says, like, Skyrim is better than Witcher 3.
On what basis? Because, remember, I'm one of those people, I fucking adored Skyrim. I've got, like, 400 plus fucking hours of that thing. I bought my old laptop specifically to run it. Like, I was big into it because Oblivion was just a really formative game for me. So yeah, loved Skyrim, played it to death, like Groundhog Day. I know every possible outcome to every possible instance of dialogue. I played it that much. And even then, I'm just like, all these years later, when I'm finally getting around to Witcher 3, it's like, yes, this is the kind of progression in game design that you want to see. It's a better story, the gameplay is so much tighter, the way you actually progress and get new shit, it makes the world feel so much bigger and more expansive and more detailed. The fact that nothing's ever really feels like it's on an RNG table, like specific elite spawns in specific places, sometimes for lore reasons. It's like, yes, it's good shit. It's a well-crafted game. What does he say Skyrim does better?
I think I don't remember most of his points. I do know he said, like, Skyrim looks better, and I immediately just went, like, oh, fuck you.
Shit.
Yes, Skyrim looks like ass compared to Witcher 3.
Yeah, maybe with the entire game's worth of mods downloaded, you can argue it looks pretty fucking nifty. But even then, you're still dealing with a lot of the animations and the blocky way things move
Oh,
around.
yeah. No, yeah, like, that's why I'm just not Bethesda's biggest fan anymore. Pretty screenshots, but then once you have to watch the game finally come to life, it just turns into a fucking mess.
Even then, I still argue those games are fun. Like, they have a lot to offer, but better than The Witcher 3? No. Not happy.
I think he's also trying to argue that Witcher 3 was, like, better than Red Dead, and it's like, I get certain points of that, but it's, like, completely two different
Red
genres.
Dead 1?
No, Red
Yes.
Dead 2.
I actually haven't played Red Dead 2, so I can't argue that.
Hold a moment while I drink.
You should check it out when it goes on sale for, like, the 75th time.
Is Red Dead 2 on PC?
Yeah, they specifically, like, made, like, a whole deal out of it.
Huh. Nice.
They gave you, like, special guns for purchasing, like, a certain version of the game.
Yeah, because Red Dead 1 not being on PC, that was...
I always
big
don't...
one.
I always wondered, like, why they never did it, because it wouldn't really be that hard. Like, with how remasters work these days, they could just say fuck it and put the Xbox 360 version on
I
the
remember
computer.
being like this whole controversy, because it was originally planned to happen.
Yeah,
but
it was.
apparently a bunch of shit got lost in development. That meant they couldn't do it, even though it was requested.
Which is really weird, because the only thing that could be that bad would be if they lose the source code. But even then, Saints Row 2 is being fucking remastered, and they did lose the source code.
Yeah, it's all a bit, flismy. I don't get it. Or
Game
maybe
design
it was
is
just
really
their
weird.
excuse because they just didn't want to. They weren't arsed, and they just
Right.
made something up.
Well, I actually,
Which is
it's
what
one. It makes me laugh how, like, Nintendo can basically re-release GameCube games and then not even update it for the controls, because that's flat out what they did. I bought the Mario collection for River, and I was watching her play Mario Sunshine, and it straight up just had GameCube controls on there. It was just like, oh, they didn't even bother. They didn't even change a picture, which would be the easiest thing in the world.
I mean, Nintendo has been releasing the same 3 games for the last 50 years. I think they're well past making them.
Which then irritates me when it's like, I say, like, when people fall for it. Meanwhile, since I've never played Skyward Sword, we're going to be getting a remaster.
I mean, I completely get why there are people who are such strong fans of things like Zelda and Mario, but oh damn, there's not a lot there to really sink your teeth into. So tight gameplay is only going to get you so far, and what are they fans of exactly? Is my question. Is it just the design of the character? The way he goes, wahoo! Is that it? Is that all there is?
Wahoo!
Okay.
From the fans of Mario that I do know, it seems to just be the really tight movement. Like, Mario's, like, movement has always been, like, really fucking tight. But I would always argue it's like, I'd rather go for, like, awesome action rather than just tight movement controls. And that's why I've always been more of a Zelda fan.
It
And
depends
Zelda-
on what it is. Like, a really satisfying platformer can actually do wonders for how addictive it is. Because Rayman, the 2D one, I remember playing that, thinking I was just playing some cheapy crap I got off a Humble Bundle. But that game hooked me in, man.
Yeah, I've been meaning to buy Rayman Legends for the Switch, considering it's like $3 right now.
Looks like someone's falling.
Ow, get him. Meanwhile, if I, like, you know what game would absolutely give Nintendo a killing if they would just remaster this game? If they just remastered Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort and put it on the Switch, they'd make all the fucking money in the world. I'm about
Would
to
they?
die.
Is there a lot of demand out there for these sports?
I mean, Wii Sports was like, it's unfortunately a little inflated considering it came with the console, but I believe
Yeah.
it's still their most sold game.
Well, yeah, because it came with the console.
Yeah,
It
that's why
wasn't Wii Sports that was popular. It was the Wii that was popular, and that was just the thing you did with the Wii. If you release Wii Sports without the Wii just for the Switch for the sake of the game, I don't think people are going to give much of a shit.
I wonder how Wii Sports Resort did, because that actually did stand on its own.
Come on! Up here!
Although, most people got that for the Wii Motion Plus. That's kind of Nintendo's whole thing. They tithe in their, like, most popular shit with all their hardware.
Yeah, it's a good way to shift a new console.
Mm-hmm. And yet we're 4 years in, and the Switch still has things like Joy-Con drift and like shitty backwards compatibility.
I'll be honest, I haven't paid attention to handheld consoles since the Game Boy Advance SP and the PSP.
Oh wow, you didn't even move on to a DS.
No, why would I?
Man, I had a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy Advance SP, then I had an original DS.
That's a nasty wound.
I didn't
No,
get
by the time
I
the
didn't-
DS came out, I was kind of done with handheld shit because it was just there was nothing out that really hooked me into it, and my PSP was already kind of where I wanted to be at in terms of how big and complete the games were you got. So I just didn't move on,
I kind of
and I just kind of never played handheld again.
in terms of handhelds, I really wish Sony had stuck it out and kept the Vita, like kept that going, because the Vita was really just the Switch but better. The problem is Sony just didn't want to support it. They were like, oh, yeah, you had like kind of a bad year despite the fact we didn't release any games. Well, you're a dead console now. It's like, what?
The soul is willing, but the flesh
Although, I still do not like the idea of like the next big move in gaming is is just streaming only.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna believe that. It's like when they thought the next big move would be multiplayer only, and then
Yeah.
things like The Witcher and whatever big single-player games came out, they just made
Up.
busters because people want to play on their own.
Yeah. So when you get statements
That
like
people
from
see the success of something like Fortnite, and they're just like, this is the future, and only this is the future. Because they want to find the simplest formula for success and just not have to touch it, instead of trying to innovate every year, because that's hard. And effort.
yeah, it's why when you've got trend chasers like fucking what EA did with Apex, where it's like, oh,
there will be no
well, we'll
time
just
once
make
that
this
bell
game
is
because
rung.
Fortnite's popular. Even though, like, the problem is like Apex, while being like really tight with its controls, is still never going to be as popular as Fortnite.
Well, that's just it. The copycats have never been successful because the thing they make is already out.
Yeah.
It's like how WoW came out, and every MMO that came after
was just trying to be
never
WoW.
able to touch it. Yeah.
Although with certain MMOs, I've always wondered how they've been able to survive, like STO and like STO, DC Universe Online, and SWTOR. It's like, how the hell are you guys still staying alive?
Franchise and brand.
Yeah.
If SWTOR wasn't Star Wars, it would have died in birth. Especially when that game was in beta, because if you think it's rough now, just imagine when it still had bugs.
No, dude, I fucking playtested SWTOR. It was a nightmare.
I am shocked.
Now, if I had to, like, put my hat down on, like, the next big thing in gaming, I'm being super optimistic when I say I want it to be VR. I just know for a fact it's not going to be streaming.
No, it's absolutely not going to be VR. But I don't even think the next big thing is going to be anything that's surprising. And even then, nothing is going to take things like single-player experiences and make them obsolete. Nothing. There will always be demand for it.
Oh no, well, you can have single-player VR games. Half-Life Alyx is proof of concept by this point.
I don't think they're going to be as popular or accessible.
Well, the problem being is in order to make that, like, more games like Half-Life Alyx, a big studio like more than just Valve would need to sit down and really churn it out instead of doing their thing. And the problem being, of course, is there's not really that much money for that just yet.
How successful was Half-Life Alyx? Because that's going to dictate what other people think.
I wonder if, so the problem is it was a digital-only game, of course, so I don't think its numbers were ever released.
You can still get sales figures for digital.
Well, they're not normally released. The only ones that normally get released are, like, physical copies.
Well,
it's why
okay, then we have to work off anecdotes. So, how many people do we know who played Half-Life Alyx? Well, how many people do we know who have VR? And we've already run into our first problem.
And the answer for that, in your perspective, is only me.
Yeah. Well, no, not just you.
You...
VR.
Okay.
That's how I've actually played VR, because I didn't get it myself.
Well, no, I thought you just tried the public test demo that most workshops are doing these days.
Those things where, those pre-COVID times when you could have, like, some earphones and a headset that some sweaty rando had just been wearing before you.
Yeah.
It on your own face. Yeah, no fucking thank you. I'll wait until my friend has it.
I mainly like VR, like, honestly, more as, like, as an immersion thing, of course, but also as just exercise. Like, Blade and Sorcery is the perfect stress tool. That's only because, like, I get to finally, like, physically take, like, in the game, grab a sword and just fucking drive it into somebody's skull. So, of course, it's a fucking stress ball.
The fact that you don't actually have the weight of anything in your hand, to me, it made it feel like I was just playing a really immersive Wii.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I took away from VR as a whole. This is just what was the PlayStation one? The motion camera thing?
PlayStation Move.
The PlayStation Move, the Xbox Kinect, the Wii, only now with goggles. That's what it felt like. So I'm still not sold.
Yeah, that's the problem. They really need to... There's two things they need to buckle down on. One, giving a lot more weight to this, because while the games can emulate the weight, that's still not there on our end. And then also they really need to buckle down on wireless technology. Because I love my HTC Vive, but I'm about to snap with the amount of, like, cables I have to deal with. And the wireless adapter is like $300. They really... they need to buckle down on, like, a lot of things, like, not to mention cost effectiveness. Yay, I finally did the thing. Except all I got was a chest. I wonder if there's anything gonna be in that chest.
Chest? For completing all missions on recruit as any class, you should get the frame for that class and no longer look like a scrub.
Yeah, no. For all that stuff, there wasn't a... All I got was a chest for, completing, missions. Helmgart. Let me go all the way back to it.
Hold on.
Hit the prologue. Yeah, complete, where is it?
Gotta say, Kruber, you're holding up well. The others have been off since you got back from Castle Drachenfels.
Yeah, there's a few
Oh my
frames.
god, you can do it? Captain's trusty companions. Say 1,000
Yeah.
enemies Max's mace and sword weapon.
Yeah, I can dual wield. I just gotta complete the, let me...
Oh, back to Uberstrike.
Yeah, I gotta do that one.
We can do that next. You can get yourself some dual wield weapons.
Which I just think is the most hilarious thing. Not only do I wield the holy sword of fuck off, I then just have 2 additional things.
But yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Trial by Plague 2, Grail Knight. Complete all Helmgart missions on veteran difficulty as Grail Knight. You should get a frame. Called Night Resplendent.
Is this in the Heroes tab?
Yeah, Heroes, Marcus Kruber, and you have to scroll all the way down to the Grail Knight stuff. Although if it's completed, it should be at the very top of the list.
Oh, okay. I'm at 8 of 13. I was just doing the, like, complete the missions on fucking, just in general on veteran. Okay. So then into the nest.
Alright, hold on. Before you go on the mission, I'm going to get a drink. Back in a second.
No problem. Wonder if I could convince Jake to buy this game.
Mistaken, Moor's-Leaves even larger during the Ubers.
I may as well actually take all this new stuff I have and smelt it all. Actually, let me put on all the new stuff first.
Alright, cold one acquired and cracked open. Let's go.
Damn. I was like about to do my whole inventory management thing. I was thinking that you were gonna be gone just as long as it takes you to get like a cup of coffee.
Well, no, if I do that, I have to wait for the kettle to boil, I have to get it, I have to let it brew, I have to bring it upstairs. Like, no. Run down to the garage, grab a can, run up.
What you drinking?
Go. Just cider.
Sweet. Okay, into the nest.
Yeah, I think the last game that I was ever part of, like, the beta test stuff for was Elder Scrolls Online when that went out for beta.
My
And
condolences.
God, what a disappointment.
I saw Elder Scrolls Online was like $10, and I was like, I kept thinking like, would all of us actually want to play that game? And then I think,
No,
I don't think so.
I'm good, honestly. I'm sure it's improved a lot since, you know,
No, it hasn't.
its actual first day. I mean, I'm sure it's improved in at least one aspect. I'll give them that. I trust them that much. But even then, I don't think it's going to be something I'd sink a lot of time into. And right now, I don't have time to sink into anything. I haven't even been able to play the game that I'm actually playing right now.
Lona's good at finding opportunities, I'll give him that.
Other real-life shit to deal with.
Right.
Service better than bloodshed. Remember that.
I feel like by this point, if I really just want to complete Tour, I am just gonna need to just play it by
The
myself.
lighting mechanism.
Honestly,
No
yeah.
wonder.
Throw on a
Just
stream,
stand the
listen in the
test of
background, and
time.
just plow through it.
Or if I can just get a
And you
decent...
will play through it so much faster when you're not trying to do every of these fucking missions. Back and
Right.
forth the map 100 times.
Delicious
Because Ninja wasn't having that much of a hard time until, like, he finally got introduced to his ship. And apparently his ship was just the final straw in that game.
Yeah, especially for the story of his character, because his character was the ship, basically. It's like, I only want the ship. I'm doing all these missions to get the ship. I have the ship. Right, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck this. Anything it has to say at this point is redundant by design.
It's why I wondered like why he didn't quickly just tackle the soldier stuff and just drop the smuggler. Because like I would have just helped him through the starting planet again. I think it does not help that with my unhealthy addiction to Star Wars, I really, like, I'm just like, oh man, I really want to play this game.
Well, yeah, like I said, if the game wasn't Star Wars, it would have died in utero. The fact that it is the only thing it has going for it, and that's just not enough.
Yeah, that's really, yeah.
But we had this conversation the last time we were playing Vermintide. I made the point that even if this wasn't Warhammer related, it's still a very mechanically tight game.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot for that. It's like, its design is very nifty for what it's trying to do. Now, there are a couple of things here and there that I find annoying, sure. But overall, it's a pretty fucking nice game.
The only thing I've found annoying has to just be the one escort mission that we both don't like, and that's the cart. Where it's like, oh yay, we can't see where we're going if we get too far away from them.
Yeah, and even then, having done it a couple of times, it's fine.
Yeah.
And if you're playing with a team that's at least pretty competent and knows to stay together, you're gonna have a fine time doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Play it, Grucky! Still booming among them.
You know, I think I had this conversation with Ninja. As much as I would love to dream of the idea of like the all-in-one console, the idea of that would be insanely terrible due to the fact that quality control would drop and also a monopoly would very easily happen.
I mean, that's pretty much what PC is and what Steam almost was. So
yeah, that's why I
kind of already had that.
Well, the problem is, well, not the problem. That's why I do buy a lot more of my games now on Epic. Because one, I don't want to support. I want to give developers more money when they actually deserve it. Then secondly, like I really don't want to keep giving Valve all the fucking. I don't want to just keep giving them money for games that they're taking the money for anyway.
Well, for me, it was more just with things like GOG, Humble Bundle, and a few other online marketplaces. You were able to shop around when a new game came out. So you were able to have some competition there, which was healthier than what we had before.
Yeah, I'll just let you.
Oh my god, the corner of the screen.
Yeah, I was seeing. I love the like your keep your arm, your elbow up, your guards down. It's like you're just shooting guns. You don't need a guard. You have.
Yeah, keep your guard up. My guard is the bullet.
Seems to be the only way forward.
Although it would be funny if you could pull a condemned and just fucking like flip your gun around and just start beating people to death with it.
That did it. Onwards.
Or I start having the rattling gun where we're both shooting each other's bullets out of the sky.
So I had a very weird conversation at a. I don't know if this was at work or just with a random person I was just chatting with. And it was the idea that griffins are cooler to ride than dragons. And I just went like, why?
It'd be more comfortable. They're less spiky.
I mean, yeah, they'd be less spiky, but it's a fucking dragon. It can breathe fire. It can, like, possibly do magic.
Yeah, but it's also smart enough to talk back and maybe not take orders. Whereas griffins are generally beastie.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I guess there's an argument to be made there, but realistically, we're all choosing dragon.
Yeah, we all choose dragon, the fire-breathing monster that could level a whole town if it wanted to. It's like, would you
Although
rather...
apparently, according to the whatever that series of books is, the Aragon books, dragons
Inheritance
chafe like a
Cycle?
motherfucker.
Yeah, the inheritance cycle fucking makes me laugh my ass off when you find out that dragons, like, they chafe and they even
And you're just like,
too.
oh yeah, all the fucking scales. Yeah, that would actually really fucking hurt.
Oh shit,
Don't have a saddle.
that's... Okay, thank you, because I was having a staring contest. I was like, I charge forward, he's just gonna leap on me.
Hold a moment while I drink.
Hey, hold a moment while I drink.
The shield is no shelter. You can imagine what
Did I tell you about this time? Okay, so I bought Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I just said fuck it. It was on sale. I was like, all right, fuck it. Apparently it's shit, but like it's the only one of the only Viking games out right now.
I've actually heard good things, and there's a Viking survivalish game out as well.
But it's a co-op game, so it's like yeah, Valheim or whatever it's called. But yeah, it's a co-op game. But I was like, I went to what is essentially a super grocery store for booze.
The rascal fellow
I went to what is essentially a grocery store of booze. I went up to one of the guys and said like, oh, I'm gonna be, like, I kind of twisted my words a bit. I was like, I'm gonna be playing like a Viking-themed D&D, and I don't like the taste of beer. What do you guys have that's on like the sweeter side? And then he recommended this it's Warsteiner, and and he went like, oh, the monks, they consumed this during Lent because of all the malt. It would give them protein and stuff. And and then when I had it, it's like, oh my god, this is like the most just generic beer tasting beer, which is exactly not what I wanted.
Also, that's the exact wrong answer. If you're playing a Viking-themed game and you don't like the taste of beer, you drink mead, for fuck's sake. It's obvious.
Or cider, and I was one.
Not really.
Or ale.
It didn't really have cider. No, ale would give you a beery taste. Mead is sweet and strong and awesome. And
But isn't mead? But isn't mead wine?
No.
So
it's like a honey beer. It's
oh.
fermented honey.
Then it must be bottled way differently over there because we put it in wine bottles over here in the States.
Yeah, you get it in big glass bottles. You don't buy it like a beer because it's stronger than a beer. It's different. But it doesn't taste like wine.
Huh. Yeah, then I am now
Were you kidding what it would taste like based on what the shape of the bottle was?
For the mead thing? No, I was watching like How to Drink, and he was bringing up how it was more like a wine, and I was just like, I don't want wine. I want something I can drink out of my big tankard.
Technically, I guess the manufacturing would be more similar to wine than it would be to beer, kind of. Because you're not really putting hops in it, you're not really doing that like that, but yeah, it's not actually like wine in any way.
And the Rat King nests atop it all.
I think after this stream I might go get some mead then.
Yeah, it's worth a try. I quite like it. In fact, I actually knew a couple of lads in college who actually made their own.
I've always wanted to try to like make my own booze. The problem being is I'm pretty sure it's illegal. Oh wait, no, it's illegal to sell it, not illegal to make it.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, me and my friend, we made our own booze. And made is stretching it a bit. We would buy like really cheap spirit alcohol and infuse it for a few weeks with like a bunch of pulped up fruit and leave it to ferment under his house for like nearly a month. Take it out at the end and see how well it came out. We had like the best one we ever did was apple and blackcurrant stuff because his family grew a bunch of shit in there. Farmer friends, they're Handy to have.
It is close.
I have no ammo, so yep.
You say as the dwarf. The dwarf should be spitting out ammo for you.
Yeah, but we're moving too fast for me to grab them. I get them whenever I can, but I'm not walking behind the dwarf expectantly waiting for him to drop a fresh load.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, drop it, drop it.
Well, so much for warp fire. Will the ratties ever learn?
Ah. Well, the AI's on their own on this one.
Ah, they'll teleport to us if they have to.
Yeah. I love how your power up, like, it's very, it seems to be a lot more spammable than mine. Or at the very least, that just might be a player mentality thing. So I'm like, no, only use it for the big boys.
Well, I'm using it anytime it will give me a significant advantage.
Right.
Like, I'm not sparing it that much because the charge upon it is not super slow.
Right.
Like, I nearly have it back again already. So yeah, in a few seconds it'll be good to go again.
Meanwhile,
So
the
I can
charge.
use it for every major fight.
I think it's gonna be in front of us. Nope. He's right there.
We've got the assassin!
Hold on, Bard.
Hunter. Yes, yes.
Also made banana liqueur once. That came out weird.
I was going to say that sounds
Strong,
disgusting, but that's mainly because I'm not the biggest fan of bananas.
I like the taste of banana, I hate the texture. No
That's
fruit should ever be mashy.
That's how I feel about coconut. I'm like, I don't like the consistency of coconut.
Oh, I fucking love coconut. I'll have coconut anything, I love it.
I like coconut water as long as it doesn't have the pulp, which is weird because I'm the opposite with orange juice. I'm like, just give me an orange blended into my mouth.
I hear a warp fire through
Fuck. I don't have ammo.
Maybe the charge will get it. Oh. I'm just chasing it down, hoping for the love of God you guys are still behind me. If I can keep it tagged. Nope, I'm gonna wait for you guys.
Good call.
You know that moment in A New Hope, Han's chasing down those stormtroopers, and then he runs into the big fuck off room? That's what just happened. I saw a bunch of us just like, ah! Fuck the hook rat. There's ammunition right here.
3 bullets. Cool. See, this is why you need to level up everybody, because when you've leveled up everybody, you can actually, like, outfit your bots to be better support.
Yeah, I kind of do wish the bots could level up themselves. Like in well, the problem being is that then you wouldn't have to put that much work in.
Yeah, if we switched over to me being the host, our bots would be much more powerful, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I have to, because I'm trying to reach the level 35, not to mention the whole, like, play the campaign as the Grail Knight. Then after that, I think I'll play as Elf Lady.
well past time to strike
Yeah,
the
not a bad
final
choice.
blow.
Just to really get her, like, leveled up. Yeah, I'll take the potion of concentration. Just to get her leveled up, and then the real one I really don't want to do is Fire Lady. Serena seems like
Arm yourselves. We must
not difficult to control, but I feel like I'd accidentally blow myself up too many times.
Oh, you absolutely fucking will. Especially when you just start playing it, because you'll be so focused on the fight, you won't be watching your overheat, and you will just die. It's really embarrassing, but eventually you will stop and you'll get used to it. And she's a high DPS class, so she's pretty satisfying when you get used to it, but she's still one of my least favorites.
Where? I think Serena just lost her fucking mind there for a second. It's like rattling gun. It's just nowhere to be seen. Oh, it's right here.
That comes easily to you, Saltfire.
Yeah, it does. Because I've got some fucking guns, buddy.
You've got the big iron on your hip.
I do.
Come
Even
on.
more so when I'm bounded.
Oh, that was beautiful.
We just bullied him. There's his loot dice.
We T-posed on his fucking corpse.
All right. I get the message. Revenge.
Realistically, you're up to a point now where you're ready to start playing on champion.
Right.
But your bots are really weak and they don't have all their talents unlocked. Because if you have Barden leveled up and you switch him back into Ranger for the bot, you actually have things that will make him drop more ammo. Or I think he drops like bottles of wine or something to give you health. You can make them more useful.
Yeah, I do need to kind of, if it's just either gonna be you or me or you Ninja and myself, yeah, I'll need to make like the 2 other bots more useful, rather than just getting the heat off the AI specials. I'm almost there. Oh, I almost got to level 34.
Almost.
I was checking the time. I was like, how much time do we have left in the day? Because I've still got stuff I need to do. I think once we complete the rest of the campaign as the Grail on Veteran, I think that'll call an end to the stream.
Alright.
Although,
which is what, 4 or 5 more missions?
let's see. So I just pick up another piece of art. Okay, heroes, Kruber. Uh, 9 of 13, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 4 more missions, and then, have you seen the tweet that Rob sent out where it was like, you guys, like, people are gonna want to react to this? Because he released a trailer of his newest thing.
Oh dear.
We might make that the last thing we do on stream. Although we should probably actually wait for Ninja for that, so all 3 of us can react to it.
The others have been
Yeah, probably.
off since you got back from Castle. I've had reports of rot blood foraging parties in the vicinity of Usingen. Now, that's bad enough, but it turns out some folk were too stubborn to show a clean pair of heels when it all went south. Now, we can't sit by as the crotchety old fools are being shipped off to Helmgart to be used as fodder for the Skittergate in one way or another. Make your way to Morgan's Loft Farm and save as many as you can.
It is honestly a little odd when you see like this really pretty like farmland, and then you get into the town and it's just all dark and depressing.
Well, I mean, even where we spawn, you've got like some dead people and
Right.
animals and stuff being picked apart by carrion birds. It's not like it's starting us off with high hopes. It's just this happens to be the prettiest level.
Yeah. The color
That
gradient
bomb will
gradient
serve us
is
well.
more appealing, is
Make
what I
haste.
should have said.
Over the fence.
Especially like this when you spawn with nice sunny weather.
Mm-hmm.
You've a good aim.
I'm gonna rock with just the sword. Oh, I still get my stagger when I have when I just have my sword, so that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's fine work. Keep it up, sir. Where? Poison.
He's right there.
Back! Incoming! Leech! You like that? Stay alert, mate. I reckon we're getting a warm welcome at the farm. Leech wench! Rattling!
Rattling's gone.
Where's the big boy?
I don't know.
These golden locks, it's a damn troll.
It'll find us.
I think it's probably outside, not.
Always works, that.
Oh, it is inside. Yeah, I'd recommend you get inside the house before it regenerates. Oh no, we got it. As it puked right on me.
And me. Good thing I tag it first so I can still hit it.
Nice work, Forrest,
Ah, well. Only a troll. Oh, one was enough for me. Hook rat prowling, don't get caught. This shield will hold firm, I promise you that. Some potion, lend me bigger.
I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know the book is up there. It's just getting up onto that ledge. There we go.
Oh. I like how Serena didn't need to do the platforming. She just suddenly had the book.
Nope. The AI never does, really.
Well, it's because how the hell are they going to do that with their pathfinding?
Nothing's coming in. That's a fire rat. Bloated bloody Blightstormer!
Hopefully oh, there's the Blightstormer. Right there.
Where?
The AI got it.
Enchantress, an assassin.
I had pinged it, and then the AI shot it in the fucking face.
Good robot.
Stick with the road, it'll guide us true. The sat rat is dead.
Here, mates. Maybe we've scared them off. Nah, I didn't think so neither.
Not bad for a fellow with one eye.
Sigmar guides my strikes, Master.
If only he taught you to hold a sword proper.
I don't need to hold a sword
You hear
proper.
what I hear, mate?
Sigmar guides my strikes. We're not listening.
I was immediately thinking that it's like, I don't think he cares if I'm holding a sword properly. Here's ammo.
We'll show that
Where?
fire rock how it's done.
I also pinged it. Oh, why did I fucking, fuck. I accidentally misclicked and used my healing potion. It's a good thing there was another.
With this, I toast victory.
Like me spare, runner.
Where are you, you fucking assassin?
Gas
Oh,
rock.
doesn't matter, because Serena got him.
Keep back! Poison rat dead!
Let's see, how long have we been going? Hour and 45 minutes? That's pretty good.
We're plowing for missions. But we're
Yeah,
also
we are.
not really given much credence to like collecting all the tones around.
Right, we're just trying. We're in just get through the level mode.
Oi, we can go through the bar.
You gotta go fast.
We just start chugging speed potions. Just,
Locked up
right
like a
there.
Burger's safe. Where's the key?
Hack that blight stormer
Nice
down
one.
before his wind kills us all.
Oh, it's Rumble time.
It.
Wolf flame.
The warfare thrower's dead. Nobody put it. I'll be back.
Light leech! Ah, another light leech!
Buddy, eight. Hoof rat.
Alright.
Right,
Let's go ahead
ready?
and take care of this big guy. Ow, 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 ow.
Got him.
No chance against ice.
Yes, because not a one of us laid a single blow.
That's a gutter runner!
Kill him quicker next time, would you?
Walk with me.
Here, warp fire throwers! The warp fire thrower is dead.
You cannot blame yourself for this. We came as swiftly as we could.
Is that a leech or is it?
Reach down!
Yes, it was.
It was.
Sigma! Ammunition!
I love the
Enough
idea. It's
before
just like
time.
pointing with my sword. Is that a leech? And then you just shoot it. It was.
Death comes easily to you, Saltzpike.
I bring death where death is. Join me!
Because I bring long-range weapons where long-range weapons are useful.
And I bring a big fuck off sword made of pure light. Oh. Oh, that was a poison rat, not a light storm rat. I
I
thought
come
that was
over to the left side of this little road.
oh, there you are. I wish the green highlight was kind of just always there.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's
Is that-
really useful outside of you being behind a wall.
Yeah, because I lost you for a good minute there. I was like, what are you talking about?
I hope it's not spoiled.
Alright, single file. That's what that just was. They were just in like this one big line.
Another dead weapon left. Don't give up. Smack it in the face. Casper, close. Beware shield rat.
I don't know why I just attempted to pick up the ammunition.
Where are you going?
I just realized I went the wrong way. I saw the AI, assumed they were going in the right direction, and then just started going that way.
Who'll defend the
You started following the robots.
What can I say? Robots of the future.
Chaos Warrior, work together.
Oh, where? Oh, it's on the other side of the bridge. Hi, how you doing?
That's what we call a panic fast hunting. Chaos Warrior.
Walking a Chaos Warrior's strike with my shield has never felt more satisfying, in the sense that it staggers it.
Oh, another one.
You're free. There's another Chaos Warrior?
Yeah, there's always one behind that door. on the open.
Oh yeah.
I yield to your experience.
It already. Oh, there it is. Whenever you use your ability, it's basically Reese and Sigmar.
Yeah, I literally just flex my holy muscles and become uber strong.
Serena's just on her own.
I need healing.
Fit to collapse,
I mean, she's fireproof. She doesn't have to worry about it.
I don't think the AI knows that, considering it just stayed on the other side. Even Barden just fucking was like, I'm not going over there. Ah, it got me.
That bastard's done for!
Oh, that fucking Skaven just went flying into a wall.
Had a shot. Here's more.
I wonder if the Steam Workshop actually has worked on any levels. Like, you know how with Left 4 Dead there's all the custom maps. I wonder if
I
there's any.
somehow don't think so. I actually don't know what mods people have actually made for this game.
There's a third-person mod. I only know that because I specifically looked for it. But in terms of what other mods, we could probably look at that after the stream.
I can continue so long as the bindings hold.
That's the last cage.
Run!
I can't find them alone, mates.
Just
Need a hand getting up.
The pyromancer's down.
The power of Sigma
that was just your victory slaughter.
Yeah.
And I'm in.
It's one for the road.
Just one more slaughter for the road. think with that, actually, I think we're going to call it. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see either next week or in a couple of weeks, depending on internal stuff. So, goodbye.